What's up, Refuge Nation? Today we are going over the long-awaited OPFAk, Operational First Aid Kit. You guys have seen it teased multiple times. We have it, it's launched, it's ready, it's time. And so I wanted to give you a quick dive into how I personally have been running the OPFAk and what I've seen work and what I've seen is successful. So this is a quick look at my belt here and how I have it set up. We also have an OPFAk in black because it's coming in black, coyote, and then in multicam. This is the OPFAk in multicam right here. So as you can see, I've got an IR chem light and then also a visible chem light right on the outside in our elastic loops. You could run additional Sharpies in this. You could run additional decompression needles, whatever you wanted. We've actually seen a couple people talk about potentially putting fire starters like flints in there as well, which is a very cool practical application. So those are right and accessible right on the front. So that way, if you are, operating within a team or you have a bunch of guys on the range doing stuff at night, you guys can all pop these chem lights and they shine through this elastic really well and you can see it. And so you know where everybody's med kit is. Then you can see on the bottom here, we have two spots for tourniquets. So on the top, I have a soft T in FDE, and then on the bottom, I have a Cat Gen 7, right? Accessible. We wanted to have a first aid kit with multiple tourniquets on the kit. That way, if you were having to, deal with extremity bleeding or multiple extremities bleeding, you had multiple tourniquets quickly accessible. So then diving into the kit, you can see these red handles are just easily tucked on the inside. So you can pull from either side to deploy the first aid kit. Now I have these keepers snug right here. So that way it keeps the first aid kit inside of the pouch. However, as you just saw, with a little bit of tension, a little bit of strength, you can quickly deploy the inner pouch. So the inner pouch, we wanted to do something that was more reminiscent of the BearFAk. The BearFAk is our absolute flagship item. It's awesome. And so we thought what makes that kit so cool was the fact that you can deploy that inner with one hand and then open it with one hand all the same. And so as you can see, you have everything laid out right here for you, easily accessible, very organized. You have your combat Z-fold gauze, you have compressed gauze in a Z-fold format, and then you also have two sets of gloves and a 4-inch flat ETD from North American Rescue. Then we've got a decompression needle right here in the center. You can put another decompression needle or a Sharpie or some other admin right down here in the bottom, super easily storable. We give you a little bit of extra room for customization. We know a lot of people customize their first aid kits, and so we wanted to make that an opportunity and a possibility for you guys. Then when we come into the bottom, we have a little pocket right here. And in this pocket, we have two sets of chest seals. Then we have our flat duct tape from Forward, which we absolutely adore because it's so very useful. And then a nasopharyngeal airway with a little bit of lube, right? And so that gives us the ability to secure an airway, to secure the respiratory system with a puncture to the pleural space, as well as if we needed to makeshift something, we can with that duct tape, or it's just always good to have some duct tape on you for admin tasks. So a really comprehensive, capable little OPFAk that sits comfortably in the small of the back. Now, one of the things I like is we took what we had with the ARC where you can deploy the shears from the outside without having to open the kit. And so you can do the same exact thing here with this first aid kit. You can deploy those shears. All you got to do to store it, open the bag back up and slide her right back in. Not very challenging. When it's on your back, you can just grab through right here and just pull that first aid kit right back through, and it stores super easily versus having to shove it back in a pouch or anything like that. And then you're set, you're ready to go. Same thing from outside. You can still grab your shears very easily and you can store them right back in, no problem. Make sure you don't get caught on anything, but little tap and you're back in there, good to go. Now, something that I really like about this is you have so much capability on the outside. If you wanted to, you could run paracord to these loops right here and retain your first aid kit. That way, if it got snagged, you're not losing it. Or what I've seen some people do already is they have shears on the outside that they have paracorded to the kit, and they can deploy their shears, run their shears, put it back in that little loop right there, and it doesn't interfere with stuff. Now, if you were doing a bunch of vehicle work in and out of a vehicle, like a law enforcement officer, or maybe a contractor, something like that, that might not be the best option for you. do, given the fact that it's gonna interfere with your lumbar. However, this kit right here, it has about the same footprint as an SOB. So anybody who's running the SOB, it's very similar in the width of it. However, it's a little bit longer, which gives us the ability to have additional components inside the first aid kit, as well as you have 2 tourniquets, right? So you can do 2 Cat Gen 7s, you can do 2 soft Ts, whatever your tourniquet of choice is. I like a little variety in life, so I got 1 and 1, and then still has that marking on the outside. Doesn't interfere with anything else in the belt. You can run it on a plate carrier, you can run it on a kit. It's very low profile, so if you were running it, you know, under your arm, super easy deploy on either side, as well as if you were running it, you know, up in front of your magazines, very easy to do as well. It's a pretty comprehensive first aid kit. We're really excited about it and what the capabilities that it has. However, we always want feedback from you guys. So if you think of something, you know, or an interesting way that you're packing it out, or you're changing it based off of your mission set, or how you know, do things in your day-to-day life at the range, or if you're training with the homies, let us know, because we always love to see how people are doing things differently. It's so interesting to see the different usages and applications that thereof. And so you've got multicam as an option right now, you've got black as an option right now, and then you've got coyote. All 3 really, really good colors, depending on what type of kit you're running or what you're doing with it, right? Pairs really well with one of the Ford tourniquet holsters right up top on the front of the belt. So I have 3 tourniquets on my belt line without interfering anything with my gear. So that way, if I'm seating a rifle, or I'm not having to tie it to the buttstock, I'm not having to go to my shoulder straps with a tourniquet, and it's very easily accessible. So something for you guys to think about. Go grab the OPFAk, get the extra entries that you can for the night vision giveaway in the meantime. And yeah, it's a really, really cool first aid kit. I'm excited. Leave in the comment section below what your thoughts are, what you would do with the OPFAk, how you would change it, if you would run it differently, or what you might do. So that way we can take that information and kind of onboard it and do it accordingly with the kit. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We're excited to grab it. Don't forget to use all your promo codes that are associated to get your discount on the OPFAk.